Last week sucked. I struggled so much. I was making so much progress with my anxiety and my confidence. Last week, everything just fell apart. This happens to me all the time. I'll make progress on the things that I'm working on, and then all of a sudden, there's this backlash. I said to myself, like, why does this keep happening to me? And I had this realization, it's because I'm afraid. And I'm gonna go into that, but before I do, I wanna talk a little bit about why exactly it was miserable last week, like the things I went through, and then why I struggle with anxiety. If you don't know, I struggle with anxiety my whole life, and people pleasing, not feeling worthy, very low confidence because of trauma I suffered from childhood. And in order to deal with that at a very young age, I started using food to cope. So I started struggling with emotionally eating. It was a severe struggle, and it carried through most of my life until my late 20s, where I became morbidly obese because of the emotional eating. And I was using my weight and the food to hide and not deal with the anxiety and the childhood trauma. But then when I became morbidly obese, my weight was causing me serious health problems to the point where I didn't have a choice anymore. I had to lose the weight or I was putting my life at risk every day I stayed at that weight, which was 275 pounds. So I did. I made some changes and I lost 130 pounds and I kept it off for 8 years. But once I stopped using the food to cope, after I lost the weight, my anxiety and the people pleasing and the lack of confidence came back so strong. I wasn't expecting that. That's because I didn't have any coping mechanisms anymore through the food. And I have spent a lot of time working on it. And I have made a lot of progress. And the last few weeks, I've made the most progress I ever have in my life. I was so proud of myself. I was owning who I was. I was standing up for myself. I was dressing the way I wanted. I was saying what I felt, what I meant. I was being honest. I was giving my opinion. I was making eye contact with people where I would normally put my head down. My overthinking and my anxiety started improving. I was sleeping at night really well. I wasn't clenching my teeth as hard as I was. And then last week, it all fell apart. The biggest backlash I've ever had came, my anxiety and everything came back like crashing in on me as if it was like the first day of the beginning of like my healing of it. Like it felt like the very first struggle that I had. I stayed up most of the night. I could feel myself clenching my teeth while I was sleeping. I woke up with jaw pain, teeth pain, massive migraines from like clenching all night, from overthinking. I didn't sleep well. I started not making eye contact anymore. I stopped dressing the way I wanted. This might sound funny, but like I like wearing socks over my pants, like cool socks. And I started putting them underneath my pants like I used to when I was hiding. And this may sound silly, but that was a big indication that I was starting to hide again, because that's what I do when I stop believing in myself. And I just felt like everything I did, I doubted myself. And I felt awful in my body like I used to when I was really, not confident and really struggling with everything. And I really just wanted to hide again and not stand up for myself. My head, which I call the ego, was telling me I was like a bad person or mean for, standing up for myself, or that it was silly to dress the way I wanted. And so frustrating because I had made so much progress. And then, like I said, I realized why am I doing this to myself? And I realized it's because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of success. Every time I get success, I have a massive backlash after. And I really looked at it this time, and I caught my downslide yesterday, and I started talking to Kyle about it, and I realized like I have a massive fear of success. I always thought that it was a failure, but it's not. I have been used to, I'm 40. I have struggled with these issues most of my life. So almost 40 years, I have struggled. I've had anxiety, I've had trouble sleeping, I've clenched my teeth, all the things that I shared with you. So when I work through them and I feel more content and more happy, I'm not used to it and it scares me. And I realize a lot of people go through this. They get a little bit of success and then there's like a big backlash because you're not used to being in a new spot. You're not used to change. Change can be uncomfortable because we're so used to being in our failure that it kind of almost feels safe. And when you go outside of your safe zone, it's scary. So people are like shocked sometimes, including myself, that I was actually scared of success. And the other piece that Kyle brought up that I think I was actually hiding from, I wasn't ready to look at, is not only is it because I feel like the struggle is my comfort zone, and if I leave it, it feels kind of like I'm leaving a piece of me behind, if that makes any sense. It's just something I felt, I guess, safe in because I'm just used to it. Saying I have anxiety, I have people pleasing, I have low self-confidence. And then all that stopped and it was like part of my identity was gone. But then the other thing that Kyle brought up, when you become successful, you stop hiding, which is what I've done with my weight, with my, lack of confidence. People see you more when you are successful. And that was the piece I think that I'm the most scared of. Like, I can sit in front of a camera and talk to people, and I'm aware that lots of people are watching me, but there's something different about like when I go out into public and meet someone face to face, or it feels different. And even I get nervous when I'm on camera too, but being seen with more success is really scary because with success, more people see you. You start standing up for yourself. People might not agree. They might not like when I dress the way I want or when I do or say things the way that I want to say them or do them. You get more confrontation and more tension. And I'm terrible at holding tension and being confident in that. But I was getting better. And I realize now I think this is a normal thing because I'm not used to making progress and feeling confident in myself and owning who I am and coming out of hiding. So it is going to be, I'll make a bit of progress. Maybe I will have a backlash. But what happens now is I used to put myself down for it and be really hard on myself and go right back down into the lack of confidence and stuff. This time I caught it. And, I talked to Kyle about it and I said, I realized I was starting to hide again. But I stopped it. And now instead of putting myself down, I'm using it as a sign from me loving myself saying, hey, Nicole, you're starting to lose the plot a little bit. You're starting to forget who you are and lose your power. It's time, and you can give yourself permission to come back and take your power back now. And so today, it's Monday. I realized it yesterday. I took my power back. I stood up for myself today when I needed to. I dressed the way I wanted. I wore my socks over my pants. I made eye contact. I started doing everything, even though my head the whole day was telling me, you're not good enough, Nicole. You're not good enough. Stop this. This is uncomfortable. You don't want to stand up for yourself. You don't want to do this. And I took something that Tony Robbins said that I heard a long time ago. He said when he was just learning to become confident, he said to himself over and over and over again a mantra. And it was, I'm going to swear here. He said, I'm being unstoppable. And that's what he said over and over again until he believed it. I changed it to, I'm beeping worth it. And I keep saying that over and over and over again in my head. I am worth it. I am worth it. I am good enough. I am good enough. And it really helped. It reminded me to push through. I am good enough to be me. I don't need to please other people. I don't need that anxiety. That's not my identity anymore. I don't need to hide under my weight. I don't need to hide from anything. This is me. Hear me roar. And I wanted to share this video because I know there are a lot of people out there that do hide. A lot of people that watch us that do hide under their weight or hide behind anxiety or people pleasing. And I want to tell you that you're not alone, and that struggle is real. And I feel your struggle, but you are allowed to be who you are. And if you are like me and you have a goal, say maybe you're trying to lose weight or overcome anxiety or people pleasing, if you make a little bit of progress, you might experience a backlash too. But what I wanted to say is I think it's normal because you're not used to being there. And great things never came from comfort zones. So as you change, it's gonna feel uncomfortable, but that's actually a sign that you're making progress. So it may be scary, but don't look back. Keep going forward even through the scary parts, because you're worth it to push through, and you're worth it to be who you are and feel content in whatever it is that you're doing. Whatever goal that you want, you're worth it, and you're good enough to try to reach it, to do everything you can. You're allowed to feel confident and love who you are and eat what you want, do what you want, and just be you and not have to worry about what other people think or feel bad. And there's probably gonna be some backlash, and that's okay. Don't put yourself down for it. Realize that it's probably normal because you're not used to it, and don't stop. Keep going. Don't let that stop you. Your head is going to tell you 1,000 times. When Kyle and I were trying to lose weight, when I overcame, worked through, got therapy and worked through my emotional eating, and now when I'm working through all these things, my head is always telling me that I'm not good enough and I can't do it. But I've never listened, and I'm not going to listen now, and I'm not going to stop, because I am worthy. I am good enough, and so are you. And I really hope that this video helps anybody that's struggling. A lot of people don't realize that they're afraid of success because it gets you seen. And most people spend a lot of time hiding and coping, and they don't even realize it. And that's okay. It's normal. We all doubt ourselves and worry about what other people are thinking, but life is too short to do that. We're good enough to take our power back and be who we want and live our lives the way we want to. So the friends, I really hope that this helps anybody struggling. I did lose 130 pounds with portion control. If you want to know the exact meals and portions I ate to lose the weight, you can buy my ebook called The First 50. The link is down below, and the code Nicole will save you 10%. I also have HTLT Seps. This is the best protein powder ever. I wanted to show you the strawberry cheesecake today because it is super delicioso, and I don't really think there's a flavor out there that's like this. It is so good. Code Nicole will save you 10%. The link is down below. Both Colas and Sassy like this a lot. So, thank you. Remember, weight loss and life should never be a punishment. You should love what you're doing, enjoy your life. Life is short. Enjoy the little things, enjoy the struggles, because it means that you can push through them. Embrace everything because it's a part of life, and you're worth it to enjoy all of it. And make it show you how strong you are and that you're worth doing what you want. I love you. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all your support. I'll catch you in the next one. Cute-a-rooney. Watch this vid and this vid for more sustainable, fun weight loss tips and honest life videos like this too. I love you. A piece it, and I'll catch you, cutie. Love ya. See ya. Remember, the friends, that weight loss isn't just about the number on the scale. It's also about here and here. Heart and mindset. Fight through it. You can do it. Don't give up.